Hey guys, and welcome to episode 15 of my From the Island series. In this series, we take the items from the tutorial island and go to the GE to see how much we can make from the items we started with. So in the last episode, if you didn't see it, we actually managed to sell a Blackberry for 5 mil. Now, the 5 mil is such a big step up from what we have already, and we're basically doubling our cash stack. So what I've decided is to put that 5 mil in the bank for the time being. And if the time comes to when we want to do another bond for this series, we're just going to use the 5 mil to buy the bond itself. So it won't really affect anything, and it would just stop us starting from a 2-3 mil cash stack again, and just means we can accelerate quicker to get in towards that end goal of either 100 mil, or if we want to go further than that, to max cash. So this is what the GE was looking like before. We are roughly at 6.4 mil, so we are doing really well. And we've basically just on the hype of the God Robe legs again, and just trying to get rid of them powdered wigs. The black dragon masks are buying as well, and we'll see if any sell soon. So the Blackberries have all sold. That is 5.6 mil, but 5 mil is going in towards the bank. The Blackberries have sold really well at the moment. We've managed to push the sell price up from about 52k up to 89k. So we are getting a ×2 margin on them. The robe legs have all sold for that slot as well, and they are still getting 20k per item there. In a minute, due to how much we can afford, we're going to put an offer in for just for 6, but even then, that 6 can pull in 120k profit as well. So robe legs going really well, along with Guthics, which always do seem to sell quite steady. Armor is the set which is getting the most profit per robe leg at the minute, which is why it wasn't selling at 155k, so we were able to afford to drop it down to 145 and still make quite a bit of money off that. Bandos robe legs is one of the sets we've just started, so I'm still trying to feel out where the margins could be for that. It wasn't selling at the price it was put in for, so we're going to drop that down to 115k, but that's still a 12 to 13k margin for that. Along with that, ancient robe legs, I've only got one more to sell for that, so we'll leave that in. And Gothic robe legs as well do sell probably the best and most consistent out of all the sets, and even then it's still getting a 15 to 20k margin depending on the times. So Gothic robe leg so far has been the MVP of the pay to play part of flipping. And finally, the powdered wigs. We've only got 2 more to sell, so maybe by this episode that slot will free up, and not only that, it will free up about 160k as well. So we'll try and find a decent item to put that money into, and hopefully keep the ball rolling as well. I think the time is coming to an end for the Black Dragon masks as well. That offer of 22k was in for a while, so we've had to drop that down to 20k to see if we can get rid of it. And just to show you again, this is what I've roughly been flipping for the week. It's just pretty much the same thing. It's been a lot of God Robe legs, Blackberries, and maybe 1 or 2 random items just to price check, see if it's a better flip than what we're doing already. So that 5 mil, we're going to chuck in the bank, and we're going to put another offer in for the Blackberries, because like I said, they have been pretty much doubling what money we put into them. So hopefully that can keep going, and you never know, maybe the rogue 5 mil flip as well. So I'll come back with some more buys and sells and just let you know how we're going, and we'll go from there. So the day has finally happened. The powdered wigs have all sold. So because of that, we need to find a new item to put into that GE slot. Now, going through all the clue scroll items, one of the ones which is a bit weird and a bit different is the staff of Bobcats. So looking at that, it also had about a 50k margin. So due to how low of a sort of flip it is, we can actually put a decent offer in for quite a few. So we're going to go in for 85k each, and if we come out with 40k profit per item, that would be massive and be outperforming the robe legs. So if it's consistent and if it sticks with it, it might be an item we keep hold of for a while. So in terms of our GE slots, for one item which we are sort of trying to get out of now is the Black Dragon mask. So coming back to some buys and sells, the Bobcat staffs, try and say that a couple of times. 6 have bought, and for the time being, I think 6 is enough. I don't really want to stop myself from selling the items just waiting for one more to buy. So we're going to put that offer in to sell for the 130k, and hopefully just come out with a 45k margin, which is more than good enough for us. Blackberries have sold, and we're going to put them back in for a price of 87k, so pretty much doubling our money on that again. And I I did say in the previous clip that Cuffix was probably the better seller of all the items, but it is having a bit of a rough and slow sell, so we're just going to drop the items back on that and hopefully they'll sell a bit quicker. Sara and Bandos have all sold, so we'll put in offers to buy them again. In a minute, the robe legs are so sporadic. Certain legs sell really well at certain times and others don't. So having a spread between all the god robe legs, it just means we can sell some at a time and some at another time. Sometimes if I think the item is undervalued and the item is cheap, I will just keep buying them up rather than sell them, and then stockpile them and sell them all in one go at a high price, and I can just leave them there to sell. So like I said, we'll put in the offers for the Sara and Bandos items and we'll see how the others sell as well. So we're just going to drop the sell price for the armor robe legs just because they are taking quite a while to sell, and it was such a big margin when we bought them. We do have the flexibility to be able to do that. When an item's refusing to sell for quite a while, I'd rather just cut my losses and sell it quick just so we don't lose money, because that just puts us further back than what we already are. So Black Dragon Mask as well, although it's got such a high margin, it is taking quite a long time to sell, so we might drop that in the future as well, but hopefully they go soon. So logging back in, we've had some more buys and sells. The Sara robe legs are probably the best trading items at the minute, along with the Bandos robe legs. So we filled in slots for both of them, and they will both be put in for the sell price we did before, and hopefully go from there. We did get the Bandos robe legs a little bit cheaper this time though, so hopefully still get a 20k margin on that. And the Bobcat staffs, we've actually managed to sell a couple of them as well, so that margin does seem to be really good at the minute. So hopefully the rest can sell in time and we can keep them going. Blackberries as well have been performing really well and selling for 87k quite comfortably. And the only concern at the minute is those Black Dragon masks still haven't sold, and we've not really sold any for a while now. And along with that, Guffix robe legs and armor robe legs seem to be tanking as well at the minute. So we'll just keep dropping them till we can find a point which they sell and get rid of them, and then retest the margins to see if we can get a much lower buy price than what we did before, just to make it worth selling them. If not, we'll just try and find some different items for the time being, and we can always return to them afterwards. So we've had some more sales, and again, the Sara robe legs are flipping quite well, along with the Bandos robe legs as well. We did have to knock the Bandos robe legs down a little bit, but they did go all in one go. Guffix robe legs have gone. It did take a while and we did need to move the price down quite a few times, but they did finally sell, so we'll retest the margins on them later. But what we'll do with the Bandos robe legs, we'll go back in again for them. They did flip quite quick, so we can still go in for the same buy price we bought before. Same with the Sara robe legs, they're just flipping consistently for a 20k margin, and we'll go for the Guffix robe legs again. I think the Guffix robe legs was about a 10-12k margin, but we can just check that with the GE history, and again we can just show you what we're buying and selling things for. So the Guffix robe legs we did buy for 107, so we only just made a little bit of money there. So we'll go back in and hopefully get them for a lower price and see what we can do with that. So that is the end of this episode. We are roughly worth about 7 mil at the minute with that Sara robe leg in the Invo, and roughly about 6.8 mil in cash. So this episode we've done really well off Sara robe legs and Bandos robe legs. They've probably been the best items we've done so far, and we have got a new item in the Bobcat staff. This episode as well, we've done quite poorly on the armor robe legs and the Guffix robe legs, but we've still made money from them. But hopefully in the next episode we'll be able to sell the armor robe legs and we'll be able to get both items for a much lower price to start with. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you've got any feedback or any comments, please leave them and I will try to reply to them. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe, because we do have quite a backlog of these videos, so hopefully coming out a bit quicker than normal. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one and hope you enjoyed.